Hello and welcome to another one of my Anatomy of a Turn series. This is the series of videos where I have a deep dive or a focused look onto one particular turn in a game I've played. Just try and go to a little bit more depth about all the thoughts and decisions that I've tried to make during that turn. So let's get started. This is a resurrection style tournament game. I've got Dark Elves against some Undead, and I've got 5 normal skills each. So I've got 2 dodge and then block and wrestle on the Witch Elves, and then a leader runner. My opponent has got 3 guard and 1 wrestle and 1 block on the ghouls for the last 2. So this is my turn 4 of my drive in the first half. I'm just like milling around in the middle of the pitch, not trying to go too soon and have to be forced into scoring early. So I had a double 1 on my turn, and that let him put a little bit of pressure in, but I had double banked my previous cage, so he couldn't actually get anywhere near the ball, but he did manage to get a mummy next to the ball. So the general thoughts at the start of this turn are, I need to put myself in a position where I can advance into his half of the pitch on my next turn. I don't want to get too bogged down and push back, but I've sort of milled around a little bit to start with to try and pull him into my half a little bit, get these mummies moving a bit further forward to create some space behind his lines. If I push too far forward and he defends his players sort of in this line here, then it's a lot harder to get behind. So it's kind of a deliberate tactic to pull back to this spot. So what I'm trying to do here is not get into his half, but get a foundation so that I can do on my turn 5, which is a good turn to set yourself up to try and score in 8 turns. So first thing I needed to do was dodge with the ball carrier. Even though there are players with dodge that could dodge first, I need to know whether I'm using this reroll essentially, and I could double 1, and then you'd say, well, why don't you stand these players up first? But it's kind of the case where if I did double 1, it's kind of all over. I need to make positive gains on this turn, and just standing these players up to get hit next turn is just going to put me in a bad position. I need to make this turn a really good turn and prepare to spend a reroll, so I'm going to have to accept the 1 in 36 chance of this ball carrier going down here. So he makes the dodge, don't have to use a reroll, that's great, and I'm going to move over here. So as you can see, the ball carrier ends up there, and then this zombie is here, which means I'm not going to be able to cage, but obviously I've planned to blitz this guy, and the reason I put this guy here is that I can put a corner of the cage there, which will then provide the assist with which to blitz the zombie with somebody else standing here. Okay, so this is my guys moving over to do that, and you might be thinking, why are you standing this guy up? You've done your the thing you wanted to do with dodging the ball carrier, and maybe you don't want to be leaving the guys on the floor. It's just general bad blood ball, isn't it? Not standing guys up who don't make efforts making dice rolls. But in this case, I kind of need to know what's going to happen with this zombie. So I've decided that I want to put this lineman here if the zombie goes down, but if he doesn't go down, I'm going to have to push him back to there, which means that he would end up in contact with that zombie, so I can't do that. So that's why this guy isn't standing up yet. I need a bit more information before I move him. Okay, so I got the knockdown, so that's great. I probably would have, if I had enough movement, moved this guy back here, but that requires a go for it, so I'm not going to do that. So it's a little bit better to screen 2 squares apart with elves against a bash team, so that they can't just put a mummy there and mark 2 of your guys, but not going to risk a go for it to do that. Okay, so there we go, we've put the lineman there as desired, and then moving this blitzer back here. Again, could have moved him first, but I wanted the information about what's going to happen with the zombie first. So this little line here, I'm not bunching together, I'm not forming a traditional cage as you would with a bash team. I'm just marking space and preventing the ghoul's coming through. So this ghoul can't come round here and hit this guy, even though there's nobody on this side of the cage. I'm just putting myself little pockets of space where he can't move his players through, and then on my turn he can't blitz all of them, so that hopefully will give me a space to move into on my future turns. Now I can do some dodges. So even though this Witch Elf has got dodge, and that is a safe dodge to make, it's not actually forming an essential part of the plan, so I'm not going to do it now. It's not just a case of making the easier rolls first, it's a case of making the important rolls first, even if they're slightly more risky. Okay, and so she's going to form a part of the cage here, so there's still a little chance that they can get a white or a ghoul round to blitz the ball if everything goes badly over here. So I need to still be honest and protect the back of the cage here. But she is there rather than here for a reason we will soon see. So dodging this guy out and then stopping there, and that protects the Witch Elf as well as the ball carrier. But and then there's also here, which it's protecting some space as well, so that if, as is probably the most sensible thing, my opponent blitzes this player here and tries to defend over here, I've then got the option of moving back into this space over here. Okay, and the same thing here, I'm just protecting two avenues. You can see I've got a little L shape here of my elves, who are not only protecting the ball carrier, but they're also covering huge parts of the pitch that give me places to go in my next turn. If I bunch up, then I'm playing into the undead player's hands, and because it's my turn 4, when I get a few people forward, and this is another annoying little player in his half that he's going to have to mark and push some players forward. So I've got 2 stuns, so that's all my players moved. And the good thing about this turn is that the most important player, the player who wants to blitz, is this guy who's got dodge. He's got no tackle on his team, so he could hit with wrestle, but that's ideal for him. He doesn't want to go down either. So the most sensible thing for my opponent to do here is to blitz this guy and then form a defense here. But then if he forms a defense here, like 1-2, 1-2, oh, he can't go here because one of my players is in the way. So suddenly it's a lot harder for him to defend. He's going to have to go 1-2 here, 1-2 here, and then maybe 2 here, and that's 6 players, and then probably another player there, that's 7. Well, this zombie's out of the game, so that's 8. So that means these 3 players that are going to have to cover this part of the pitch, which is going to give me a lot of opportunity to move over here if he does do that sort of thing. And if he doesn't move all those players over here, that just leaves this sideline wide open for me to come down next turn. So I'm giving myself 2 options, 2 outs, two ways I can go next turn. Now this is obviously the preferable way up the sideline because that's more advancing further, but then you have to assume your opponent's going to play reasonably well. And so this gives me a second out. So if he leaves this sideline open, I can go here on my turn 5, and then hopefully bring this guy around a little bit over here, so that on my turn 6 I can go here, turn 7 here, turn 8 over here, or score obviously, sorry, turn 8. But if he does defend over here successfully, maybe gets this guy down on a pout and then does a line of people, he's going to have to drag all of his players over to this side of the pitch. And they're quite slow because they're undead, there's movement 4, movement 3 players. So if he's got all his movement 4 players over here, because these are the fast guys on this side, so he's going to have to drag several movement 4 players over to the side of the pitch, and then on my turn 5 I can go over here, leaving these guys stranded, and then on my turn 6 I could go over here, and again the movement 3 or 4 players are still going to be around here, which means on my turn 7 I can go here, probably dealing with these guys quite easily, and then turn 8 score. So I've set myself up on the correct turn of the drive to put myself in a position to score almost regardless of where my opponent goes. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did like the video, please subscribe to the channel or press the like button. That's always very helpful. And hopefully see you again next time.